Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers, the mother figures, the expectant mothers. We love you, we appreciate you, and we are grateful and thankful for each and every single one of you and the impact that you have on our lives. So, Derrick JAXN, you guys, has reemerged. Derrick JAXN, who considered himself a relationship expert until he was exposed for cheating on his wife, and not only cheating on his wife, but doing a lot of his videos in the car outside of his mistress' houses, is now using Kevin Samuels' death to lure back in the black female audience that he lost, and is trying to do a different approach from Kevin Samuels to try to pull the black females back in, to get those subscribers back, to get that revenue back that he was generating off of, trying to give all this relationship advice, trying to paint all of these pretty pictures. Meanwhile, he is actively cheating on his wife and having mistresses galore. Make it make sense, you guys. So I'm going to play a couple clips because I was disturbed, obviously, and I'm going to react to them.
Where I see a lot of women, black women especially, who have been celebrating that he's died. Yes, for those who don't know, he's so controversial that you have people who have a lot of mixed reactions to him passing. Sometimes you have people grieving, this type of thing. But right now you have a lot of folks who are celebrating. They're at least mocking or maybe even just apathetic to the fact that he has passed on. And I've seen people like his fans and stuff talk about that group as being, really messed up. Like, how twisted you got to be. How effed up of a human being do you have to be laughing or happy and celebrating that this man has.
So I wanted to stop right there because now you're putting people into a box, right? Not everybody who is condemning or has an opinion on a certain group of people, because it's not just black women, right? There are some black men, there are some other male and females who are celebrating Kevin Samuels' death. However, it's more polarizing to just say black women, right? That black women are doing this, right? But I have an issue that Derrick JAXN is trying to make it seem that if you have anything to say about people who are celebrating Kevin Samuels' death, that it's wrong, that it's not appropriate, and this and that means you're a Kevin Samuels fan. No, right? No. It's called being a human being. It's called having empathy. It's called having a moral compass. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to agree with their viewpoints, but as a human being, and for me as a Christian, you don't dance on somebody's grave. You don't celebrate somebody's death. That is literally one of the things you do not do, like ever. So it's not about being a Kevin Samuels fan for anybody that feels a certain type of way or has an opinion on people who are celebrating his death and calling it out and saying that it's disrespectful and saying that it's inappropriate and this and that. It is people who have character. It is people who have morals, people who have values, people who have been brought up, who have been raised by their family, been raised by their parents, grandparents, or whoever, to have character, to have morals, to have empathy. You don't have to like everyone on this earth, and everyone on this earth is not going to like you. But you can wish condolences. You can say sorry for your loss. You can feel empathy for Kevin Samuels' mother and Kevin Samuels' daughter, that they lost their father and their son, right? But that doesn't mean that you are a Kevin Samuels fan. It's called you are a human being. So let's get into more of this Derrick JAXN nonsense, you guys, because I see right through the marketing strategy. I see right through it.
Those that are laughing at him being gone, It's not a measurement of their character that they're reacting in that way, as much as it's a reflection of the impact that his content has had on them.
Disagree. I completely disagree, you guys, because it is a part of your character. If it is a part of your character to celebrate and throw parties when somebody dies, and putting that type of energy out there, that says a lot about your character. I'm sorry. Whether you're a Kevin Samuels fan or not, that kind of stuff comes back to you. Literally the definition of you reap what you sow. So, no, it is not, not just about Kevin Samuels' impact to those people who disagree with him or what have you. It also speaks to a person's character if they're celebrating people dying, especially people who are claiming to be Christians. So now let's get into this clip that is even more foolishness.
Let's be real. Let's not idolize the dead and just make them angels all of a sudden. Let's stop the gaslighting, okay? So for the women that fit into any of those groups, whether it was 35 and single and you called leftovers, or, you're overweight, so you call Big Shirley, or you average looking at best, or you're a single mother and you experienced his content in a really harmful, negative, demoralizing way, that group's experience with his content is just as valid as those of you who have gotten, a lot from his content and you love his conversations and stuff like that. So I have an issue with invalidating them as just being another messed up, twisted group of people that can't handle the truth or whatever else. And I also have a problem with charging black women with the responsibility to continuously take the moral high road and be the bigger person.
Derrick JAXN is good, you guys. Derrick JAXN is very good. And this is very dangerous, you guys. So first of all, nobody is trying to, treat Kevin Samuels like he was this angel, that he was, this perfect person and this and that. What people are doing is literally the other video I did last night, you guys, is what's happening is some people are blatantly slandering the guy, like blatantly putting out false stories about him and about his death to, sensationalize, and make things sound a lot more inappropriate, a lot more egregious than what we know about his death. His autopsy results, the coroner's report, it's still pending, right? We don't know officially what Kevin Samuels has died of, right? We don't know what was in his system when he died. So it's not that people are calling him an angel and he's perfect and blah, 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 blah. It is really his mother hired an attorney to stop the false narrative. That's it. But people aren't glorifying or anointing him or what have you. That's completely false. And then the other thing I want to talk about is how Derrick JAXN now is using some of the terms that Kevin Samuels, did in some of his content. The Big Shirleys, the, women over 35 that are leftovers, average at best, this and that. Derrick JAXN now is using this as a marketing strategy. He's saying, hey, if you feel like Kevin Samuels was talking about you and putting you into these categories, come to me. Come to me and my platform because I'm not going to do that to you. Come to me because I do not care if you are a single mother. I do not care if you are overweight. I do not care if you do not look a certain way. I want you to get my content so that I can profit. And that is exactly what Derrick JAXN is doing. People may have not liked Kevin Samuels' approach and his delivery and some of the things that he said in his content, but this is very dangerous. Somebody trying to pander and trying to pull at your heartstrings, trying to pull at the direct things that Kevin Samuel said in his content to get those viewers back, to get those female supporters back. No. It's not going to work for me. And then he further plays into this by saying, hey, black women, should not have to be judged on how they should conduct themselves and they need to be the big person. See, that was classic manipulative behavior, you guys. Classic manipulative behavior. Because first, he is trying to paint the picture that people who, even people who aren't fans of Kevin Samuels, that are just simply giving basic condolences, that people are memorializing him, that are anointing him to this higher power, which isn't true. And then he's directly speaking to some of the most viral moments that happen over Kevin Samuels' content, where he's directly calling, women overweight, women average at best, women who have children, women who are 35 that are leftovers, and this and that. He is directly targeting a specific group of women to say, hey, come to my platform. Even though I cheated on my wife, even though I do my relationship guru videos outside of my mistress's homes, come to my channel instead, because I'm going to paint the pretty picture for you. No. That is very dangerous. And then follows it up by playing into your hands of saying, hey, as Black women, hey, we should not have to, act a certain way and conduct ourselves accordingly, and always having to take the high road and this and that. That is a direct ploy to lure you guys in. And I'm calling it out. I am calling it out. So now that Derrick JAXN starts off the video, you guys, putting anybody who condemns anybody that's celebrating Kevin Samuels' death as, quote, a Kevin Samuels fan, then follows it up by saying that people are anointing and treating Kevin Samuels like an angel in his death, when in reality people are just trying to give basic condolences, and they are refuting any false narratives that are coming out about the details of his death. He then directly targets the women that Kevin Samuels' most viral clips happen for, and says, hey, Big Shirley, women who are overweight, women who have kids, women who are over 35 and considered leftovers and average at best and blah, 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 blah. Come to me. I'm not going to say those things to you. Come to my channel, come to my platform, so that I can tell you a nice, big, pretty, display of all of these things, right? Even though I'm a cheater, even though I cheat on my wife. And then follows it up with, hey, I am here for you, Black women. I understand that you guys are getting criticized and this and that. Come to me. I'm not going to do that to you. And so now that he has lured you in, now here comes what he really wanted to say about Kevin Samuels' death. And let's get to it.
For me personally, how I feel about Kevin Samuels passing, and for those who don't know, the history is there, for years before he really blew up. He was saying my name and he just didn't agree with my content, as some people don't, which is cool. And then I also voiced that I didn't agree with his. We didn't know each other personally. We were supposed to have some type of debate/discourse at one point. It just fell through. But whenever I got wind of him passing away, I was deeply saddened. Really, genuinely, deeply saddened. He ain't never said anything enough about me to be happy that he's gone or anything like that.
So I have to call out the hypocrisy, right? So you just said that, quote, Black women who are celebrating Kevin Samuels' death, it doesn't speak to their character, but their impact. But in calling out people who are condemning those that are celebrating Kevin Samuels' death as, quote, Kevin Samuels fans, but then you yourself, it's okay for you to say that you were saddened by Kevin Samuels' death because you guys were on opposite sides of your relationship advice, and you guys were supposed to allegedly have some sort of debate or engagement or whatever on your platforms that fell through or never came to fruition. So I see right through this is you feel a certain type of way. You're saddened not because Kevin Samuels is dead. You're saddened because you don't have any more content of his now to refute and profit off of. And so instead you're playing on the sympathy of the black women who are upset by Kevin Samuels' content to lure them in, but then you yourself say that you're saddened and that you're not going to dance on anyone's grave, but then you just previously called anybody who calls that out as Kevin Samuels supporters. So are you a Kevin Samuels supporter too? Because now you're spending time like basically giving a love letter to the guy after you just previously wanted to target his audience of women, of his clips that went viral, of some of the things that were said about a woman's weight and her relationship status and her age and this and that. And now you're going in your whole spiel of the things that you really wanted to say about Kevin Samuels, but you had to lure in the black women who are offended and upset by the things that Kevin Samuels has said in his content. You had to lure them in first, and you had to call out the people who were condemning anybody who said anything negative about his death or dancing on his grave or what have you. And then you do the exact same thing. Make it make sense, you guys. Make it make sense. But this is a very dangerous tactic to lure in the female followers that you lost. Very dangerous, you guys. Very dangerous, and I had to call it out. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.